So I'm here at Hayling Island. It's a lovely sunny day. I think there's a lot of rain forecast around a lot of the country, but the coastline or south coast seems to always get pretty lucky, which is great. Yeah, so just want to do a video about the new Duotone 2024 booms. These are technically a 2023 product code, but I think Duotone had some problems with the factories manufacturing these during COVID. They talked to us about these, I think it was last year in, where was I, Tarifa. I think, yeah, someone in the company wanted to invest some money in and make their already amazing booms that bit better. So I just wanted to go through the main differences. So these are the Aero 3 booms, which are a different carbon to the standard Platinum. The standard Platinum is 100% carbon. This is also 100% carbon, but it's a different type of carbon, which just makes them a little bit lighter. Some people might say it's a bit unnecessary, but when you're using like SLS, well, I'm now using the Superhero SLS sails. I borrowed a friend's carbon Power XT, and I was just surprised how much difference, well, not how much difference, but you can notice small weight increases, decreases actually, when you sort of upgrade your equipment. And obviously I'm in a very fortunate position where I can try out things a bit cheaper than other people. And yeah, it's surprising how even an extension at the bottom of your sail can make that little bit of difference. You know, the D-Lab boards now are sort of a kilo lighter than they used to be, and everything's just getting lighter, which means you can go out on smaller equipment in lighter winds and just get more out of your sailing really. And yeah, I mean, I've been windsurfing now for 15, 16, 17, 18 years. And yeah, I really want to enjoy it when I go out because I do a lot of other sports as well. And I want my windsurfing, which is my main sport, or has always been my main passion, to be as good as it can be. So yeah, this is last year's Aero 3 and this is this year's 2024 Aero 3. So the outline has changed slightly. It's a lot more, basically you can have a deeper profile sail at the front. The clamp's completely the same. It's still the Duotone I-clamp, I-base I think they call it. No, the I-base is on the bottom of the sail. Is this the I-clamp? I think it's called the I-clamp. Which, yeah, you can convert between a RDM and an SDM by changing this yellow insert. So it's not an adapter you have to put on the mast, it's already built into the boom. The smaller wave booms come as standard with the RDM, and the larger booms come as standard with the SDM, but you can buy these adapters for I think £8 or £10, and then it makes it a really good solid connection if you change your masts. Yeah, so the standard Platinum, I don't know what the weight is of the standard Platinum, but it's still very light boom. This is the Aero 3, and I weighed it earlier. It was 7.7 kilos without harness lines. The older one was slightly lighter by I think 100 grams, but that's mainly down to the fact that the new one, which is this one, the 2024, has a massive range on it now. So it used to be 140 to 180. It's now 140 to 200, which is another 20 centimetre increase, which is massive. I can show you in a second how sort of flexible it feels under 200, but hopefully you can see there that the two different sizes, but we can pull them out and see the range. But yeah, I absolutely love these booms. The weight reduction that you feel on super lightweight boom just makes your sail more manoeuvrable. It just feels like you can sort of throw it about and do whatever you need to, and it also helps you get planing a little bit earlier. So yeah, the outline, it's not just different at the end or at the start. You can see it's a bit wider at the very, very front, and then it actually comes in a little bit straighter. I think they were talking about, I haven't actually had a chance to use this one yet, but the main sort of reason is to make it more comfortable when you're just in your neutral position, which is similar to what they've done with the wings and the handle position. It's so you don't have one of your arms like abnormally bent. You just want it to be comfortable in the sailing position. There's also a slight kink here, which is quite unusual, I think, for a boom. And then it's a little bit, let's have a look. Is it a little bit wider? So yeah, it's quite a different outline really. It's a more consistent curve, I would say. It's more aggressive at the start, but then it's more consistent throughout. Whereas the older one, which is the one that's closest to me, the darker one, is slightly broader at the front, not at the very start here, but broader here, and then consistently straight down. The other main difference is that this has, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video, but it has a V grip. So rather than being just a consistent circle the whole way through. There is a slight V on the inside, which I think sits quite nicely in your hand. It sort of sits in the knuckles of your fingers, so you've got a little bit more grip. But it also makes the boom stiffer, so an oval can flex in directions. This has now got like a linear V, a very small linear V in it, which will make it stiffer. And yeah, it's in the smaller reduced setting, it is incredibly stiff. So let's see what it's like compared to the old one. I mean, that's flexing a little bit. So you can see that's flexing a little bit. The other one, I'm really having to put some force into it to even get it to move just a little bit. So yeah, very strong. So 140 to 180, 200 now on the new one, so an extra 20 centimeters. The other main difference, a few people who've had these booms will have noticed that there was a few issues with they basically put grip. So the EVA padding that's on the boom, on the main part of the boom, they also had it on the rear of the tail, which was across most of the Duotone booms, I believe. And yeah, some people found, I mean, my one, maybe because I don't windsurf that much and I do a lot of other sports, mine's in quite good condition, but some people were finding this was peeling up. And then once that peels up, it then makes the tolerance between the tail end and the main part of the boom a little bit looser and will give you a little bit more wobbling. But also, in some cases, in the worst cases, it made it quite hard to get the boom back in. So yeah, they've removed that. It's just got they've just reduced a failure point basically. So this is now smooth, a smooth sort of carbon throughout, and it slides really nicely. This is also an oval, so it's oval inside, so the tail ends won't fit inside. This tail end won't fit in the old tail end, unfortunately, if you've got that boom. But yeah, so it goes all the way to 200, which is here. Nice and easy and simple to click. And then yeah, that's, you know, for a 140 200, that is now a massive boom and will go, you know, well over 6 meters on some sails. There is a bit of flex when it's obviously on that maximum extension, but it just avoids the need to have to get another boom. Yeah, we've also got I can't remember the name of the end, but if that's focusing, the system where there's the black markers. Oh, they've actually changed the rope. There's actually rope like stitched into the line now. Again, people were finding that the old, so you can see on my old one, which was a very early on one, it was basically like a bit of Sharpie or a bit of pen on the end of the rope, and it basically wears out. But the whole point of this tail end is that it's a loop and go system, so you loop it through the eyelet, loop it around the end, and then basically you just pull on the cleat. So there's no need to sort of thread the rope through any eyelets or anything like that. And then on the inside, there is a little spring-loaded marker that basically shows you neutral tension. So once the white marker fills the box, that's neutral. And then you've got these black markers, so you can pull on up to three or maybe 4 markers to sort of help you know the minimum and the maximum range of your outhaul. Personally, I don't use it that much, but for people who haven't used Duotone sails before, I think it gives you a real good prompt as to where to start from and where you can kind of go with the outhaul. Yeah, trying to think what else is different. The front is very square. Again, it's actually not circular at all at the very front here. That's obviously to make it stiffer and stronger through that front edge. But I haven't broken a platinum boom since I was racing at Hove, which was probably, I mean, I jumped into a massive lump of seaweed and put a load on the boom, and I think it was brand new, so maybe there was actually a fault with that boom. But that wasn't for, I mean, I haven't had a warranty in the shop either for a boom, not on a platinum boom. I think someone's managed to bend an aluminium one recently, but I don't think we've had any warranties on carbon booms. So yeah, these are a specific product to Duotone. I know there's a lot of other booms that, you know, other manufacturers of booms, not manufacturers of booms, brands of booms, where they basically buy them from the factory and will put their brand name on them to keep the costs down, which is, you know, perfectly fine. But these are, you know, this clamp is a patented design from Duotone, and this boom in general is completely unique to Duotone, and you won't find this design anywhere else, basically. So yeah, let's show you the maximum range on the old boom. Oh, I've pulled it out too far. So that's the difference. And when it's still got the same flex. So on maximum, you know, most booms do give a little bit on the maximum, but compared to the new, you've got that extra. So the old is at the front and the new is at the back. You've got that extra 20 centimeters on the range, which is quite a big jump really compared to, you know, where they were. And I don't know if many other booms have that range, especially in full carbon. Yeah, so 1.7, almost 1.8 kilos, you know, easily can hold them both out with one hand. Yeah, so that's the new Duotone Aero 3 boom. I am pretty sure, I would say about 95% sure, these will be the same outline as the standard Platinum. They are just made in a different carbon, which makes them just slightly heavier, but it's, you know, it's a cost thing really. And yeah, price. So, you know, year on year with inflation and stuff, things go up. I just had a look on the website and the retail price is about 7% more than last year. But you are getting a completely redesigned, new outline, new tail end, and new grip shape. So yeah, that's the new Duotone 2024 Platinum booms.